No Nay Never's bred to be a good 2-year-old, and he was an exceptional 2-year-old. Had pace, precocity, ability to win in 3 countries as a juvenile.
Sent off odds-on for his debut in a 4.5 furlong maiden at Keeneland, No Nay Never got the job done despite missing the break.
No Nay Never by 2 lengths. No Nay Never hanging tough thus far against the challenge of Solitary Ranger. And No Nay Never will take it for Joel Rosario.
Sent straight to Royal Ascot for the Group 2 Norfolk Stakes, he dwarfed his rivals in the preliminaries.
Wes Ward's horse, who stood out in the paddock that day, brings 2 words to mind: beast mode. He was a very impressive horse physically.
Well, this horse just looked head and shoulders above the rest of the paddock, didn't he, Mick?
Well, I've seen him in the stables the last 2 mornings there, and I was just drawn to him straight away. I thought it was a 4 or a 5-year-old. This is a 2-year-old. He looks like a men against boys almost in this race.
5 furlongs, and this horse could leave them all.
Particularly on quick ground, particularly with relatively inexperienced horses, Graham.
Yeah, they could. I'm not saying they will. They could break the track record here.
Inside the final furlong, No Nay Never is battling back very gamely on the near side and forging on again from Coachhouse and Windfire, and it's going to go to the American horse, and No Nay Never saw out the trip in tremendous style to win the Norfolk Stakes. What a good colt he must be. Well, No Nay Never. We're used to the Wesley Ward trained horses blasting off in front, showing tremendous speed, but once they're headed, they tend to fall back. Not with this horse, No Nay Never. He came again, and he was very robust at the finish. He must be very smart indeed. Joel Rosario, the winning rider.
He's bashed the side of the stalls, lost ground, then powered his way to the front, then hung on here. This is a very, very good horse.
Superstar jockey Gary Stevens, now riding again at the age of 50, said that he's a freak, but a freak in a good way.
Sensational, considering he came sideways out the stalls and you nearly lost your jockey.
I tell you what, it's one little issue he's had. He kind of sits in there and he kind of gets relaxed, and he broke slow in his first start, and he broke slow again today, but he came through for us.
I was just saying on air, you probably don't know this, that's the fastest time ever recorded by a 2-year-old at Royal Ascot.
Well, that's what we expected.
It's running 58.8 seconds despite a slow start and running green. It was a tremendous performance, and we went on to see in the pre-morning exactly what it was worth when No Nay Never beat 2 subsequent Group 1 winning fillies in Rysina and Vorda in great style.
He looked a really precocious, high-class 2-year-old, and he proved that and more besides in different circumstances when he went to Deauville.
For his next outing, No Nay Never was again sent to Europe, this time to Deauville for the Group 1 Prix-Morny.
No Nay Never has kicked at the 200. Gelotta in second placing. Border to the outside begins to run on, but it's No Nay Never. No Nay Never bounds clear. Border late, but No Nay Never. 3 starts, 3 countries, 3 wins. First in a Group 1. And No Nay Never has won it.
It was a longer trip, it was easier ground, and he needed to dig in hard, and that's exactly what he did. So, summer of 2013, there was hardly a better looking or a more talented 2-year-old around than No Nay Never.
Well, oftentimes the Prix-Morny is the first test at the top level for horses that have been showing really good early season speed, and then what you want to know is that they can take on some of the better 2-year-olds at that pivotal point of the season, and he was very impressive in the Prix-Morny, and it was a strong race as well form-wise. So that was clearly a key performance for him as regards his future as a stallion. But I think equally important, he showed latterly that he could go a little bit further than 6 furlongs. Although he's very much a speed horse, and it'll be as a sprinter that he will attract commercial interest. He wasn't a horse that petered out at the end of his races. He finished his races off strongly, and he showed as a 3-year-old that he could get a little bit further as well, which is, I think, quite important.
After finishing his 2-year-old career unbeaten, No Nay Never's next start on grass came in the 5.5 furlong Grade 3 Woodford at Keeneland, where he won despite a 7-month layoff.
No Nay Never, 7-month layoff, trying to reach the wire, has the lead by 3. Sharp Sensation second. Mongo Bull is running late on the far outside. No Nay Never, Sharp Sensation. Mongo Bull is coming on. No Nay Never, yes!
Really impressive performance as a 3-year-old at Keeneland, showing great speed, adaptability. He could cope with turf, he could cope with dirt, he could cope with synthetic surfaces, and he comes from a magnificent sires lineage.
Remarkably, if you look at the top line of his pedigree, the first 5 sires, Scat Daddy, Johannesburg, Hennessy, Stormcat and Stormbird all won Group or Grade 1 races as 2-year-olds.
So it's an extraordinary paternal line of 2-year-old speed and precocity and class.
Incredible talent, that goes without saying, but also a real ability to get top quality early runners, all Group 1 winners at 2.
So No Nay Never is the 6th horse in this male line to do so.
It's No Nay Never. Here's Ageless on the outside at a huge price. Toward the inside, tight end touchdown. Sweet Swap is there too. And on the far outside, Bobby's Kitten with a flying finish.